Hello, if we haven't met, my name is Rudy, and I'm out here in the woods to talk to you about the priorities of survival. If you found yourself in the wilderness in a survival situation, if you were lost or injured or incapacitated in some way, what would you do first? What would be the first thing that you do to try to make yourself safe while search and rescue teams or law enforcement first response is trying to find you? The chances are good that they will find you very quickly if you're taking the right steps. But what do you do first? What's your order of priority? If you're in a remote area, are you going to try to find clean water? Are you going to try to build a fire? What is it that you are going to do first? There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of information out there on what to do, and a lot of techniques and methods. But as far as priorities go, what's the most likely thing to happen, and what's the most dangerous thing to happen? You can assess the risk, and then make your priority list from there. And I like to follow something called the rule of fours. The rule of fours says that you have 4 minutes before you lose enough blood to lose consciousness. So if you're bleeding, that's obviously the first priority. The next one may surprise some people if you're not familiar with the wilderness survival area, but the next priority should be building a shelter. You have about 4 hours, if it's extremely hot or if it's extremely cold, to build some sort of shelter, to get some sort of relief from the elements before you become weak and succumb to exposure. And the next time period is actually 4 days. 4 days is approximately how long you have to find clean water before your body starts to suffer from the effects of extreme dehydration. And then the last priority is food. Your body, the human body, depending on who you read and what you look at, can go for about 4 weeks. Depending on your body type and your diet and things like that. But 4 weeks without food. So there are very few instances where you're lost or in a survival situation where you are not found before 4 weeks. So that should actually be at the bottom of your list. Now, food is nice to have. We operate much better. You have more energy. You can think more clearly when on a full stomach. And then things like building a fire, that certainly helps have some relief from the elements. It keeps some of the animals away. And it is comfortable. It helps you to feel comfortable in your situation. So those are good things to think about. But first order of business when you find yourself in the situation is to remember the rule of fours: 4 minutes, 4 hours, 4 days, and 4 weeks. And start building your recovery plan from there.